All right, we've got this Kamei swing gate opener control box here. The circuit board, let's take this box off. The circuit board is no good, failed, no power getting to it. Transformer's good, so we can reuse that. Power's on, yeah, no lights are coming on there, so she's kaput. So we're going to replace this control board with this Elsema control board here. This is the MC double swing gate motor controller with LCD. A lot more modern control board, much more user friendly than that control board there. A lot going on, but not much at all really. This board has the LCD control panel, fully customizable, but super easy to install, set up and program. Heaps of accessories, easy to wire in as well. And we're going to reuse the external receiver box, so those old remotes will still work, which is good. So lucky they got that installed rather than get the original Kamei remotes, because they would be going in the bin right now. So that's one good thing about having a separate external receiver. If you're going to get yourself a lot more remotes for your property, you can carry them over to another motor in the future. Now this box here operates the intercom, so that will just be staying wired into power. That's 240 volts as well, I think, in there, so we've got to be careful with that. All right, so let's rip this control board out, open up this Elsema board and get that wired in so we can have use of the swing gate motors again. Let's get into it. Actually, before we get into it, let's just have a quick look. And I'll use this video for reference if I need to refer back to any parts, but it should be pretty straightforward. We've got the antenna wire, that would have been for the factory remotes. We probably don't need to use that anymore. So our external receiver, I know how to wire that in. That's this plug here, but that is also attached to the intercom. The same wires as the receiver to open the gate. So the green and white wire on this Cat 5, I think, cable. The blue one there, that's going to the intercom, open and close. We've got a plane going overhead there, thanks, who's that? Rex Airlines. All right, so that's the reference there, and these two plugs are the gate motors, so they run down that conduit there to the gate, so that's pretty straightforward. And that's a 3-wire system with encoder. I think this board can use encoding. I'll just double check, but if not, that gate has got stoppers inbuilt, so we can just use it as a 2-wire system. So we'll unplug those. That's the gate motor. This is the receiver and gate operation. Unplug that one. And then we're just left with power and 240 volts and the power supply. That's the transformer. So here we're pretty much set to go. Rip the rest of that out and open this up. We've got that unplugged, of course. Down there. And one more screw, I think. There's a couple of standoffs there. They might have to come out as well. No, they don't need to come out, but we've got one more here. Okay, that's the receiver card. That's it. Old control board is out. So let's tidy the rest of that up and get the new control board mounted in there. All right, so there's our new Elsema MC double swing gate motor control with LCD. So that's it right there. A very nice looking control board. That's strange. Why is that? Do that. Hope that disappears. I'm only just lightly touching that. That's cool. Compared to our old control board, it's a lot more compact as well. You've got your single master control button here. You press that and spin it for the menu. Some cool IC chips there as well. A lot more basic than this one. This one uses all mechanical relays, heaps of fuses, This has only got your one main 10 amp fuse. Nice big capacitor there. And yeah, all run by some nice IC chips. Now you can put open, stop, close buttons as well down there too, which is awesome. We'll get rid of that one, that's no good. And let's get this installed into there. That looks heaps better. What have we got so far? We've got our transformer wired in to the power point. We've got a good 26 volts coming from there. Now we're only using the white wire and the black wire. As you can see, we've got 0 volts. So you need to use the white wire. And then we want 26 volts for this motor system. We don't have any need to use the center terminal. That's only if you need, well, that says 17 volts. Normally it's 12 volt or 24 volt. It's usually a little bit more. But we're just going to use purely 24 volts, or 26 is fine for this unit. So we've got all that wired in, which powers up our intercom. We've got our motor wire terminals all separated. We're going to cut off the blue wire because the blue wire is an encoder. So we've got motor 1, left and right, motor 2, left and right terminals, and the end one is an encoder. So this Elsema control board only does limit switches or a physical stop barrier, which is basically a current sensing form of stopping. So when the gate hits an obstacle and forces against it, it has a spike in current, and that knows when the gate's closed or open. So we're most likely going to use that because these motors do have the stoppers inbuilt underneath on the screw arms there. So we'll set those up, which they're probably already set pretty good. Because these are encoder. So this board knows exactly where the motor is at all times. So it uses the encoder and physical stop at the same time. But so for this board here, we're just going to use the physical stop method. So we're going to snip those blue wires off and just put motor 1 and motor 2 wires into those terminals underneath there. A lot of trucks going past here. All right, so let's get our motor wired in, our receiver, and we'll plug our motors back in because they've been disconnected, and we'll see if it works. Okay, so that's our motor 1 and motor 2 wires connected up. So as you can see under there, motor 1, where are we? Motor 1 and motor 2, right there. We'll leave our receiver in that for now because we can operate everything from the control panel. So let's fire this up, and I think we are good. We've got our power supply plugged in. Let's fire it up, see what happens. All right, we've got power, so that transformer's working good. Powered by Eclipse operating system. 24 volts supply detected. Travel limit not set. Press master control for 2 seconds to enter iLearn mode. So this is a super easy setup. This is your master control here. Push that in for 2 seconds. Entering programming. Press master to learn. Turn master to scroll. So turn that. Gives you heaps of different options. So first we just want to work out which way the motors are going. So press master to learn. Select gate type. Swing gates. Turn master to scroll. So sliding gate, it is not. Barrier boom gates. So we want swing gates, and enter. Select double type, double, single. So yep, we'll leave that on double. Press again. How easy is this? Are limit switches used? We're gonna go no. Is the gate open halfway? Yes or no? The gates are open completely at the moment. Whoa, but they are disconnected, so I'm going to say no because they're probably, let's go down and check that first. Let's go for a walk. All right, so we're down at the gates. Let's just move these bricks out of the way. So the gates look like they are completely closed. Let's have a look. Yep, they are completely closed. That's a bit bent as well. So yeah, the gates are completely closed at the moment. What have what we've got here. Here's our nuts and bolts. Not sure what they've used here. So we're just going to connect our arms back up. I'm not sure what they're using here. There's our bush. Alright, so we'll go back to the control board and we'll get them to open up halfway once we put the bolts into the gate brackets again. This one, we've got a couple of new bolts we can use because that is not what you put in the gate motor. We'll just see if this fits in there. So we need another one that size. This size is a bit big. Alright, so we'll use that one. And I'll go get another one. Bloody hell. So yeah, this one's a little bit big. So I'll go get another one that size to use in the other one. Alright, so that's how our gates are now situated. Let's go back to the control panel and we'll see what happens. Alright, so still says are the gates open halfway? No. Press open or close to set motor 1 halfway. Alright, that's cool. So open and close. We're going to push one of these buttons right here and see if our gate, see which one's number 1 or number 2 first. I think that's the other gate motor. Let's have a little look. So it looks like this gate here is motor 1. Doesn't really matter because there's no overlapping on these gates, so it doesn't really matter which one is number 1 and number 2, which is good. So we're just going to leave that as number 1, and that is now opened halfway. Press master to save. Motor 2 halfway. So hopefully this actually opens. No, it is working. Beautiful. All right, so motor 2 is working. Oh, yes. Okay, that's about halfway. All right. Is motor 2 halfway? Yes. Setting direction. Opening motor 1 in that many seconds. Did motor 1 open? I'm going to say yes because when I pressed open, it did. Motor 2 direction. Just having a look at that, and that is opening. Did motor 2 open? Yes. All right, now it's doing a learning process. So let's run down to the gate and have a quick look. All right, so this one's now opening on its own, doing a learning process. Just want to make sure they don't get jammed. Now this one's opening. All right, now that one should close, I think. All right, let's go back to the control panel and see what's happening. So the problem with gates, they need 2 ends at once. All right, sub island mode opening. All right, it still says it's opening. Why are we not opening? Oh, that hinge is no good. We'll have to fix that. That one is no good either. Yes, why? So we do have physical stops on both ends of these motors, which is good. Don't know why. Don't know why this is doing what it's doing. 14%. Might have to cancel this and I'll have a look into it, but it should be closing. It's stuck at 14%. All right, I'll see you soon. I'm just having a look at the Elsema troubleshooting guide, and 14% is an error code. Decrease motor 1 and motor 2 slow speed obstruction margin. There's also a 28% error code as well. So yeah, if your board's stuck on a percentage, 14 or 28%, then these are error codes. All right, let's go back to the board and adjust some settings. Okay, so there you have it. It's stuck at 14%, which is an error code. So we're going to cancel that. Then we're going to go through and adjust the slowdown speed obstruction margin. Could be tools. There we go, slow speed ramp down time. That's the time it only takes 0.2 of a second to slow down. That's fine. So auto close, pedestrian, obstruction margin detection. There we go. Slow speed, it's at 1 amp. M1 slow speed, we have to reduce that down. Let's go 0.5. Where's motor 2? M1 slow speed. Why don't we have motor 2? Let's see, there might be a motor 2. There we go, motor 2. Slow speed, obstruction detection margin. Go to 0.5. All right, so let's go back to exit and we'll try that again. Press to set. No, we've got to scroll to exit again. Okay, now press that for 2 seconds. We're going to go through the setup procedure again. Okay. Double gate, yes. Limit switches, no. Gate half open, no they're not. So we need to close them halfway. Now, let's see if we can see. I've got to look underneath the ute here. So we should be able to see that one there, and we want to close that gate. So as you can see, it does close just fine, so you should do the auto close setup. I think you can see that, it's a bit sunny here. So that one's closing. Okay, that one's halfway. Motor 2. Let's see if we can see motor 2. Motor 2, we want to close, there we go. So motor 2 is closing. Alright, so that's about halfway. So now it's automatically checking the direction, so that means you don't have to worry about which way around these wires go. It auto detects, which is awesome, and they're both correct. So that gate's opening. Did motor 2 open? Yes. All right. Let's see if it doesn't get stuck at 14% this time. I think it's trying to open too much in the slowdown. All right, here we go. So we are at 11%. There we go, 16, and we're closing again. So there you go. We're at 20%. Let's run down to the gate and see what's happening. All right, so now they're both closing. Doing a setup. They should stop on the physical stops underneath the gate here. So that's our physical stop underneath the gate motor. 3, 2, 1, that one should stop. And that one needs adjusting. They're not shutting properly, but it could be on the bracket there. We'll adjust that. But It's good enough for now for our test to make sure everything's working, and we can fine tune the exact closing of the gates later on. So they're opening up all by themselves. Let's go down and check out how much percent we're on now. 44%. So it's probably going to do another open and close procedure. 48%. So it's probably going to close in a minute. 49%. Unless we are stuck on another setting. So now we're stuck at 49%. I assume that is another error code. Let me go and see what that error code is. I'll be back. Okay, so the troubleshooting says if the gates don't open and close in the second I-learn cycle, which is about the 49% mark, we need to increase the open and close obstruction detection margin. So it was set on 1.5 amps, which is not much because look at the maximum. We should get 6 amps. So 6 amps is a lot. So we're only on maybe a third. So we're going to put that, let's go double that, 3 amps. And close at 3 amps. And then back to motor 2. And turn that one up to 3 amps. And close obstruction detection to 3 amps. Because when the gate's opening and closing, it's picking up an obstruction, which is just the gate moving itself. So slow speed is fine because that's when it hits the stopper. We want that to be quite sensitive. All right, let's try and set that up again. I won't bore you. I'll come back at 49% and see how we go. Okay, gates are opening and we're up to 45%, which means our motor 1 is almost open. Come on, get past 49%. Close again. Alright, I think we're stuck at halfway again. Damn it. Alright, I'm going to have to go check the geometry of the gates. I don't know why it's closing and opening on the first cycle and not the second cycle. I'm just going to go down and check the geometry of the motors to make sure they're pushing the gate inwards and not directly along the hinge point. And yeah, that's not moving at all. The gates aren't moving. Okay, cancel that and come back again. Bloody hell. Alright, I've been mucking around with these swing gate motors from Kamei for over an hour now, and they're not playing. I've tried every setting. The motors are just too old, I think. They're overrunning when they're opening. I'm just going to set these once more. Yeah, the motors are overrunning when it's opening. It's got a 130-second overrun timer, and that's cutting out. So the motors aren't giving the board enough feedback to say they're open. They're tripping out a lot earlier than they should. So the motors could actually be slipping inside of the units. They're just old. So we've got 4% progress, 5%. This one should open soon. So we'll see if we can make it past 14% again. That's another error that keeps popping up. So it either gets stuck on 14% or 49%. All right, we've got our first open. Now it's closing. Better not work now when I'm filming. I can't see that other gate. Let's have a look. Okay, there we go. We're at 29%. I think it closes and then opens. Sounds like we're close. So 31%, 32. So we're opening. So 49% would be the halfway mark, which would be a close and an open cycle. So we're opening okay. Both gates are open now, and I don't think they're giving any feedback to the board. Yeah, we're stuck on 49% again. As you can see, 49%. It won't do the second cycle. The motors are just running inside themselves. If you go up to them, you can hear the motor still running. Alright, so this is a no-go. Time for some new motors. Well, we'll throw that back inside of here for now. Oh well, not beauty.
I'm that roller door bloke, thanks for watching.